You can find them on Twitter, you can find them on the gram. After listening to their podcast, you'll be sitting there like, damn, taking their teaching from one level to the next, reaching up to Canada and down to
All right,
Mexico.
so can you guys just tell us a little bit about Scripted? Like maybe give us an overview of the book, what it's about. Give the audience an overview.
Go ahead, Bruce. You
Sure.
always do it.
Scripted is really, the premise of the book is every single educator can create media and not spend a lot of money doing it. And we really believe that all three of us as media teachers have seen, the success of students creating media and a lot of other things you might not think about, like SEL and wellness of, students affected by it in a positive way of having them create media. So we really thought about it as like a step-by-step guide of sorts, or a recipe book that you could go to the curriculum area, the funding area, the planning area. And the book is really about our own experiences. And I've said it on other podcasts, there is no research in this book. Like, the book is our three personal experiences. It's not a crowdsourced book, but there's nothing wrong with that. But we didn't go visit 10 schools and then write about those 10 schools. They're all our personal experiences. And I think that's really come through for educators who have read the book, that it's really educator to educator. These are the exact microphones, cameras, all the equipment that we use. And especially with remote learning, I've been talking a lot about, and with the book, it's a really high level of learning. Instead of just learning something and quickly take the quiz, anytime that you can create anything. And we really, truly believe that all students can create things, and all educators too can use their imagination to create things.
Awesome. And so, I like, the one thing I do like about the book is you don't have to sit down and read it cover to cover, right? Like you were saying, Bruce, you can pick a chapter and say, I want to focus on this chapter and see what's there, what interests me there, or what I need. And that's, like I said, I have my book and it's all marked up with just different sections. And I'm like, oh, I could really use that in my class, or that's a great project idea. So it is a great read in that way. It's almost like an encyclopedia, right? Like go and find what you need, and then go and grab it a little bit later and find what you need. I didn't know if Randy or Paul, you wanted to add anything to what Bruce had mentioned.
No, I think he said it for the most part. I think our main goal was to make sure it wasn't what I call just educational jargon, because those are very difficult to read sometimes. And we did wanted a book, no matter what grade you taught and what position you had. And we wanted it to come from the heart, basically. We wanted everyone to know this is really what we do. Here's ideas. We wanted people to be able, I think as educators, you guys are the same way. If you go to a conference or you read something, you want to be able to go back the next day and literally use what you just heard. And that's, we all know as educators, that's what we do. We share our ideas, that's what we do. So, because it makes all of us better. So I think that was our end goal.
And am I right in you all never physically got together to write the book, right? This was all done virtually?
Well, we did twice. Okay. We met in New York, and then at a conference, we kind of stayed a little longer. And then Bruce came to Indiana, where Randy and I both live, and we all met up down closer to Randy, and we spent a few days. But other than that, the rest of the time during the 2 years, we met every week remotely. So
did the idea just start from like, hey, we should write a book about this, like through a Twitter feed or something, or through an email?
Paula originally had an idea for this, and it all planned out. And when Randy and I came along, I think the idea was kind of like, for all of us, we can't find a book like this. Like, the books we found were 10 or 15 years old, and really more college books of this is broadcasting, rather than practical ideas that maybe you could use, K through 12. But Paula, you could talk more. You had the original idea and, outline of the book.
No, I think you hit it. I had already sketched out stuff. I've written a couple other books just for fiction, and I like writing. And so I guess I started it, and I literally did just call them and go, hey, you guys want to write a book? Just kind of did it that way,
Thanks for listening to the podcast.
Keep up with every new episode by subscribing on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast, Anchor, or anywhere you listen. Remember to visit teachernerds.com, and that's nerds with a Z. Follow us on Twitter @TeacherNerds and on Instagram @TeacherNerdsPodcast. And thank you for being one of the Teacher Nerds.